Hey guys, it's Des from School Warroad, and with everything going on, we just realized that we wanted to do whatever we could to provide just some um, class, I guess some classes for you guys. So we have decided to just do some fun little things that you guys can do at home together with your kids, or your kids could do on their own, or whatever you want. So the first one that we are going to have is actually something that I found on YouTube quite a while ago, and I've done it with my kids. They have done, here I'll show you. They did little bath mats made from old towels and made some mistakes here, and I will explain those as we go on. But you're actually going to use old t-shirts or towels or whatever you want. T-shirts are easiest, and a hula hoop. So I have two different sizes here. This is one that I actually made for myself quite a few years ago. And then these littler ones are like from the dollar store, or I actually get them in large packs for my dance classes. You'll have to excuse any children or pets that run through my video here. And so you can just kind of choose whichever size you want. Today I'm going to use the little one. They are just a little bit easier, a little faster, and they will be closer to that size that we used for those little bath mats for in front of the bathtub when the kids are taking a bath or whatever. And you're going to just go through your house, collect some t-shirts that you don't use anymore. Doesn't matter really the size or the color. I tried to stick with some blacks and grays and just kind of some darker colors for this one, but you could really do whatever you wanted. So you are going to take, I'll find a t-shirt here. Take your t-shirt and you're going to cut strips from about the armpit all the way down, and about 1-inch strips, or smaller or bigger, but I tried to keep mine about 1 inch, and the kids helped with a few of them, so they got to be a little different, which is fine, but you're going to end up with a bunch of big circles, and we're going to put those around the hoop evenly. So you're gonna, once you're done with cutting all of your strips, of course I've got my nice big pile here, so sometimes it helps if you stretch them out a little bit. They just kind of turn themselves in. So you're going to end up with your hoop kind of looking like this, and try to keep that as centered as possible. And then you are going to take 2 more strips, and I like to start just looping them together. So loop and pull them tight so that you've got 2 in a row. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 and you're actually going to push them together, because you want to have an odd amount. Otherwise, once you start weaving, you're going to end up, your weave is going to end up overlapping too much instead of it being the way you want. So you're going to take 2 of those and kind of do the same loop again. So I'll do it from this way. So here, and then pulling it through, and then pulling it nice and tight. Now, basically all you're going to do until you run out is go over and under each row. So just make sure that whatever way you start, you continue to move that way all the way around. So I'm going to start going over and under and over and under and over, under. Now, this is where you're going to see where if you don't connect those first 2, you would end up going over the same one that you already went. So now because we connected those 2 in the very beginning, now the one that you were over on the top, you're now going under. So you're not doubling up anymore. So now you're just going to continue going over and under and over and under. I already screwed up. But that's the nice part, is if you do notice that you're going over one that you should have gone under the first time, you can just take it out and continue on. What did I do here? You'll kind of want to, as you're going on, pushing them in a little bit. Don't let them get super tight or it's going to pucker up in the middle when you're all done and you take it off of the hoop. But get it in there so that there's no gaps. But like I said, you don't want it too tight in there either. And I have done this one with my 9-year-old, and I've also done it with my 5-year-old. So I think it's a good one for little ones to do when they're learning the concept of patterns or going over and under, different things like that. So it's definitely a project that anybody can do. And once I get to the end of this one, I'm going to show you how we continue. And see here, I screwed up somewhere. Okay, so what I want to show you next is when you get to the end of one, you're going to want to do the same thing. Loop one through, just hold it so you have a nice tight knot in there, but it's not going to, like on this one, we weren't able to do that because of the towels, and some of the ends just got to be really bulky in there, and you can see where we tied them together. And it just isn't as pretty. It wasn't a nice finish. So if you can loop them together this way, it's just it makes it a little bit cleaner in the end. And you're just going to keep going. Cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
You want to grab pieces for me and get them so I can
But
put them
Mom, I
together?
want an egg.
Well, when I'm all done with this, I'll cook you an egg.
Okay. But I want to get the egg out right now.
No, not right now. It's just
What?
because I've got to finish this whole video before I can do that.
Or maybe you can just pause it.
Well, it's not really something you can just pause.
You have to finish the video.
Yep. Why don't you come and help me for a little while?
Why? I'm watching the show. And by the way, you got this.
I got this.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Knew I needed a little bit of encouragement today, I think. I've never made a video before. I've never even gone like live on Facebook or anything like that. So yeah, He's my little tender-hearted encourager. I think I cut way too many strips, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll find another project to do. So sometimes I like to just lay it flat like this. I can tell that it's getting a little uneven. Stretch it out a little. See how it lays when it's nice and flat. And really, you could do just about any size you wanted. I mean, you could probably even just use string or yarn and do coasters, or I mean, you could really do just about anything with this. So you can start off smaller if you want. I like to, when I do projects, I like to start with big ones that I can really see what I'm doing and learn what I'm doing, and then go smaller once I get better at it. But if you are doing this with either your kids or yourself, or just trying to keep your hands busy when all the rest of this is going on, you should send us pictures of your final result. Whatever you end up doing, whatever colors you use. Like when my daughter did hers, she wanted hers to be the maroon and the pink. When my 5-year-old Dallas did his, we used every color and no pattern at all. Kind of like I'm doing with this one. At least I tried to pick somewhat of the same colors. But I'm not putting them in a pattern. Like if you had shirts of every color of the rainbow and you wanted to do red first and then work your way out using the rest of the colors, like I think that would look really cool. There's just a lot of different, I mean, you could really put patterns into this if you wanted. I don't know, like my sister would need to do something like that. Everything needs to be really matchy, and that's just not really my style, but it might be yours, and that's perfect. So yeah, I would just really like to see what you end up with. So make sure to send us pictures of your final result. right, so I'm getting down to my last strips. I haven't really decided how I'm going to finish this yet, but I think we can find a good way of tying it off, and then what you're going to do is cut all of the outside strings and tie them off, and then you're done. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as my kids would say, and you have a cute little rug to put wherever you want. So I am going to actually tie this to the one before and the one that's connected to the hoop. What, buddy?
Can I have a piece of candy?
No, not right now.
I'm hungry.
I know you're hungry. Just a minute.
Can I have something to eat right now?
I told you that I'll make you an egg when it's all done.
Are you almost done?
Almost all done.
I will have to make another one.
So, here we are. You've gotten this far. And we're going to snip the edges off. I think that you should do just a few at a time and then cut again. I like to take one on either side of the piece that's on the outside and tie it so that it's all nice and tight. So like here, these ones are on the bottom, so I'll take one of them and put it on the top and one on the bottom around that outside piece and tie it. This one's on the top, so I'm going to take one of the two tails, put it underneath that outside black piece, and tie it again. So the very outside piece on this is what I mean by the outside. You'll have one going on top and one going on the bottom once you clip the tails. In the middle of a video, so my kids decide it's a really good time to have snack time. Yes. There's some that are open already. If you look in the fridge, they're in there.
Where are they? On the top?
In the drawer.
In the drawer.
Top drawer.
Top?
Yep.
Top drawer.
Now what I'm noticing is I might have tied these ones a little bit too tight. If you want to leave them a little bit looser, I think that they'll lay nice and flat. Not so loose that it moves around, but you don't need to crank on it really hard. See how that kind of wants to flip up a little bit? Now, if you were noticing as I was going through, I kind of lost the two that I put together at the very beginning, so I just created a new one. And really, you can't even tell that I lost that. But I'm going to do those two last. So. Alright, so there you are, nice cute little rug. You can use, really you can pretty much put it wherever you want. You could also take all of these little fringes, you could clip them, you could tuck them underneath. And I guess you can flip it over, find which side you like better. Maybe if you're using like different patterned t-shirts, it might look a little bit different. Mine is pretty boring on both sides, pretty much just the same. I used one shirt that had stripes on it. The rest of them were all solid. So you can see mine got a little bit tight. It kind of wants to bow and curl up a little bit. So I'm just going to work on it and stretch it out. Maybe once I wash it and pull it apart a little bit, it'll loosen up. But that's it. Now you have this cute little rug. I'm actually going to put mine over in this corner. I'll move my camera a little bit here. I actually have a little kitchen set up for my kids to play with, and I think it'll look cute in that little corner. So thank you guys for joining and being patient with me. I hope that I was very clear, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any more ideas of different things you would like to see, please message us. Also, let us see your final results if you guys chose to do this video. It would be so fun to see a bunch of them, and we can repost them on our social media. And we just hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you and your family stay healthy, stay home, and just enjoy this family time. This can definitely be a great thing if you let it be. Just find the silver lining in all of it. So enjoy. Thank you. Peace out.